everyone, it's Lisha. I'm so sorry that I have not been back. It's been one crazy year and we've been really busy and it's been really boring, to be honest with you. So I haven't really had anything to post. And if you're new and just coming in, and welcome, thank you for showing up. Please subscribe. I'll have new content coming soon after this one, and we'll try to keep posting regularly than what I have been. But today I wanted to come on here, and this was something exciting to talk about. We paid off $10,000 of our debt this past year, and I'm so thrilled. I'm tickled pink. We didn't think we could do it. It was a lot of hard work and a lot of sacrificing. And so I wanted to just get on here to share with you what we did to get that paid off. Maybe it will help you either save money or help you pay off your debt or get you guys back on track with your income up to par and be able to manage and budget for food and whatever. Because I know our number one rule was to budget. That's the thing with how we were able to pay off debt. We had to budget. Okay, so I'm just going to give you a breakdown of what our household is like. We are a family of 6 people. We are running this past year only. We made a little under $130,000 a year for that year. And we paid off $10,000 of our debt. We were $80,000 in debt in 2021. We are now a little under $70,000 in debt. We still have $25,000 in student loans and $45,000 in car loans. We are still part of that 36% of Americans who still live paycheck to paycheck from that make $100,000 to $200,000 a year, guys, which is crazy. That percentage, 36% of Americans that make up to $200,000 still live paycheck to paycheck. Unreal. 67% of Americans who make $70,000 still live paycheck to paycheck. Back on track. So we paid off $10,000 in debt. We, first off, the number one thing that we did was we had to find some way of getting more income. Adam was the only one working at the time. He had advanced his job as far as he could. So when we started out in West Virginia, he started out as a Ford diesel mechanic, and he had advanced his way from 2015 up to 2019 and increasing his income. So he's at the point to where he can't increase his income anymore until he gets more certifications under his belt. So I had to take it up on myself to see what I could do about it. So what I did was I went out and I looked for a job. I couldn't really, all my kids were in school at that time, but I couldn't really work during the day because I had to go drop my kids off at like 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock in the morning, and I had to pick them up by 3 and sometimes 2, depending on what day of the week it was. So I wasn't able to work during the day. No one was willing to work with me on availability. I already tried everywhere, retail, fast food places, they have to have that open availability everywhere you go. So I couldn't get in during the day. So I was like, okay, I have to do a night shift job. And I had to suck it up and take on a night shift job. I worked overnights at Dollar Tree for that whole entire year, except for 2 months out of that whole entire year. And it was rough. It was hard. Because not only did I work overnights, I also had to take the kids still to school in the morning. I came back after dropping them off. I slept for at least 4 hours, then got back up to get ready to go get them from school. Had to come home, clean, cook, or whatever else, do laundry that day. And I was able to lay back down for a little bit once Adam got home, which was about 6, 7 o'clock. And then I had to be back out the door at 9. So it was rough. It was really rough. And it made our marriage rough too, because, we weren't spending any time together. It made it rough on the kids. I didn't have any time to spend with the kids. I was always doing something. So it was just crazy. But it was worth it. It was really worth it. So that's one thing that we did to increase our income. I got a job. Now, not only did I have that job during that time frame, I also picked up some side hustles along the way. I picked up 3 side hustles that were included in our income for this past year. I did 3 mystery shopping companies, and I worked those companies during the days that I was off that night. So while the kids were in school, I would go out that day and go and do the mystery shops. So I made about $300 to $500 extra with just doing the mystery shops, which I will list all 3 companies, which are legitimate, guys. I have gotten paid through them. It just takes a month before they pay you. So, but they are legit. I will list them down below, so that if you guys wanted to look into those 3 companies and see if they offer anything in your area. I have also sold a lot of things. We sold so many clothes. We sold so many electronics, so much furniture. I probably made an extra $500 just by selling stuff to throw at our debt. So that's the number one thing. Number one thing is to increase your income somehow, some way. Number 2, this one's a big one. This is really big. We had to make a budget. We had to make a really, really strict budget. What I do is I have this budgeting planner. It's just like a regular calendar. I write down all the bills that are due in this portion here, what days they're due, so that I don't miss the dates, because that's another thing. You don't want to miss a payment date, because then that messes with your credit, yada, yada, yada. Then it has this little section here where you can put all your bills. You list all your bills, you list all your income, then you list all your income, your expenses, and subtract them out, and then what you have extra. I do this for our every 2 weeks, and we do about, we pay all of our bills, then we do $300 for gas, $250 for food, $100 for entertainment, $100 for my scratch off lottery channel. Sometimes we don't always do that. If we need it for extra, we'll take it for extra and pay towards their debt or whatever. We don't always keep it the same. We do keep the food budget the same, $250, no more and no less. And we just follow that strict budget. We cut out everything from like shopping, any extra things, with birthdays, we didn't spend that much on them. We only get 1 present each for their birthdays this past year. We made sure that it was just either a small cupcakes or a cake. We took them out to eat. That's it. No big birthdays. We didn't have like a bunch of people over. We didn't have any kids over. Just something sweet something short and sweet is how we kept it. But back to our food budget. That was a big one. We were paying between $700 to $1,000 a month in food. And I was like, we got to cut something. And that was what got cut. So I dropped it down to only $500 a month. We do $250 every 2 weeks. And how I did that was I made a list of what I'd have in my pantry and what I would have in my refrigerator. And then I would work my meals around what we had on hand. And then I would list what we would need to fill those dinners out. And I made sure that we had potatoes. I made sure we had rice, beans, the fillers, the ones that make you full faster. We went without meat sometimes. We had meatless dinners. I always kept flour, butter, milk, eggs, baking powder, sugar, all on hand, so that way I could make all the sweet treats that we needed. Make sure that we made all of our cakes and breads and things like that if we needed it. Biscuits. We don't buy any canned biscuits. That's number 1 rule. Those are really expensive. We cut out all the soda. We cut out all the juice. Every once in a while we would have it, maybe once in a month we would do it. But we would cut out the juice and the soda. We cut back on the sweets. We would not buy a lot of sweets or snacks. That's why I would bake. We did a lot of meatless dinners. So Well, not a lot. I would say about 3 meals a night, 3 meals in a week would be meatless. So it would be like vegetable soup or breakfast for dinner, which would consist of gravy, biscuits, and eggs. We would do taco soup without the meat. We would just do the beans and all that stuff and the rice. What else would we do? I would just come up with things. To be honest with you, some of the things that I would combine, you wouldn't think that we would eat for a meal, but I made it work. And they would be like, oh, this is new. And I'm like, yes, it is. And what is it? And I was like, it's a surprise. And it would just be what I had in my cupboard. You know, I would put together like a pasta or a sauce and mix it with some vegetables and a potato or a rice and beans and then just throw in seasonings. And they were like, oh my God, this is really good. So yeah, I did a lot of shelf cooking while through that year. But that's another thing. You just have to do with what you have on hand. That's what I did. And we did without sometimes. We did without, you know, as I said, soda, juice, sweets, treats. We did without going out to eat a lot. We didn't go and buy a bunch of stuff that we wanted. That's another thing. You got to make sacrifices. And if you don't make sacrifices in your budget or with this, then you won't be able to do it. So you won't be able to save your money, or you won't be able to pay it towards your debt, whatever you wanted to do with it. So you have to make a lot of sacrifices. And if you're really, really wanting to do it, you have to cut back. And you can always cut back. You can always find somewhere to cut back at. You look through your budget, see where all your money is going, and then be like, okay, well, I'm paying this much in coffees a week, or I'm paying this much in ordering DoorDash, or I'm paying this much into buying fast food instead of what I could be bringing my food with me. That kind of thing. You find something. Unsubscribe to your memberships, man. If you're not using that membership, unsubscribe to it. You know, it's amazing how many subscriptions you have on hand, because I was going through our bank statements and I was like, what's this? What's this? What's this? And the kids had subscribed us to every single streaming company that you could possibly think of. And I'm like, oh my gosh, we have this many coming out. And I was like, I didn't even know it. At the beginning of, this was like in 2021 when they were little and they were like, and I didn't have the little blocker on the TV. So they were able to subscribe to a lot of things. So I had to unsubscribe to a lot of those companies. Also see if you can make your phone bill cheaper. Instead of buying the brand new things, get the cheaper one, you know, or just sacrifice. You have to sacrifice, guys. Cut your cable bill in half. Don't get cable. Do the streaming channels and only do one or two at a time. Right now, we only have Hulu, Netflix, and maybe Disney. That's it. That's all we pay for streaming for TV, and we have live TV on our thing. So and it's free. Just have to have internet. Cut back on your internet bill if you have to. We went for, I'd say, 2 months without internet at our place. And because we were like, we really wanted to cut it out. And that was like $100 a month. So we took out our internet for a little while. And we just used our phone services for what we needed to do and our hotspots on our phone. We actually made our phone bill cheaper by trading companies. We were doing Straight Talk, which was crappy service, and we were paying for, I think, 3 phones. We were paying the $55 a month. So, and it was, that's $160 a month. And we went to T-Mobile, Metro by T-Mobile, and we got all of our phones for unlimited phones, and our phones were free with our plan, and we didn't have to pay them. We got them free. All 3 phones were free. Well, no, Tripp's was not free. He paid for his because it was an iPhone, but he has a job and he was able to pay for his. So I do, but mine and Adam's phones were free with that plan, and we had it under $100 for our phone services, and it was unlimited and everything. It was a really good deal at the time when we went in and got it. So yeah, we made our phone service cheaper. We cut back on just buying stuff. We were buying stuff to be buying stuff. We would go and, oh, we need that. Oh, no, we didn't. No, you don't need it. You say you need it, but in a week it's sitting over in the corner and it's not being used. So yes, so don't buy things that you say you need and then it's just going to sit and collect dust. It's a dust collector. We do that. We did that quite often. And just, declutter your house, get stuff out, sell it, make more money. But yeah, that's about it, guys. That's all we did to save up money to put towards our debt. We just budgeted, we cut our food bill budget down. We tried to increase our income, whether it was getting advancements in our career or just adding another job if possible, and adding some side hustles and selling stuff. That's pretty much about it. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please like, share, and comment, guys. We'll see you on the next video. Bye.